Hello everyone, this is Frank from Apple One-to-One. Today I want to go over looks and features of Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. And we're going to start by looking at the left-hand pane and the way you select files. So first, let's open Numbers. So you'll see here that you have a half screen with a menu across the top where you can select files, or you can open a new spreadsheet or choose from a template by selecting either one of those two choices at the top. What I'm concerned with here is to show you how this menu on the bottom works. So it defaults to recent. So right here, if you just slide this up a little bit, you'll see you have a full screen and you have all of the recent files that pertain to this program, and in this case, Numbers. And you notice that the lettering for your selections across the top of the menu are in green, which is the color associated with Numbers. If you go to Shared, it's going to show you those files that you've shared with people. Browse is going to show you any file that may be related to the program you're using, Numbers, Pages, or Keynote. If you slide this back down, and then if you tap on the first icon in that menu bar, that's going to show you a left-handed pane, which is basically the same thing, but in a left-handed pane. So you have your recents at the top, shared. This will also show you any of your favorite folders. So you go to Downloads, your other locations, your iCloud, on my iPad, recently deleted. And this shows you tags. Now, if you're using tags, and tags can be very useful, you can identify a particular file that may be stored in multiple locations or multiple files stored in different locations. For example, if I tap on Henley, it says no tagged files. Now, what this means is that there are no tagged files under this category that pertain to Numbers. So let's keep that in mind. The same thing for vids for YouTube. The swing is a style of music. Swing, okay, there's nothing there. But if I go to tax items, you'll see that there's a file that pertains to Numbers. And that's a different way to use this left-hand pane. If you tap on that icon again, it's going to bring you back. You're going to see your menu bar back across the top. You just lightly touch this and slide it down, and you're back here. Let's go to another one of our programs, and we'll go to Pages. Now, you notice Pages, again, same look, except everything is in orange. What you see here under Recents now are all of the Pages documents related to your Pages program. Go to Shared, you'll see only those items that are related to Pages. Browse. If you go to the left-hand pane, same format, and you can see all of the files there, downloads. Now, if I go down to Tags, and I hit, you remember there was a tax item that related to Numbers. That's not going to appear here. The same with the videos. But you'll notice that all of the nomenclature or the labels associated with your tags, the text is in orange, indicating that you're in the Pages program. And then you just slide this down, and then you're back to your left-hand pane or your menu across the top. Our last program is Keynote. Notice Keynote is blue. And again, recent. If you go and you look at recents and you just slide up, you'll see that all of these files pertain to Keynote, which is your presentation program. Shared, there are no shared files of Keynote documents. Browse is going to do the same thing. You hit the left-hand pane, you're going to see that on the left-hand side. Again, tax items, nothing. Henley, nothing. Videos and swing for music, nothing. You can start your program from either a file you've recently had open or start a new one. If we just select a file and we open it, now we're in Keynote, so it's going to load it in. If we wanted to export this, you would hit your share button, which is the upper right hand side. You'll see the square with the up arrow. Tap on it. You're going to get your choice menu. You see that you can do it through AirDrop, message, mail, notes, reminder, all of these other items that you may have listed there. But in this particular case, we want to do the export and send. So if you hit export, it's going to give you several options. Now, they're all grouped together now. So you can save this as a PDF, a PowerPoint, a movie, which is a nice feature, animated GIF, images, or Keynote theme. So if you want to save it as a PDF, you can, the range is going to be all. If you didn't want to do all, you could say, well, let's do just 1-to-1. You hit the back button. You're only going to do slide run, include comments. If you've done a presentation before, you can add comments, slide numbers, things of that nature. Now, if you want to know how to do all this stuff, then take a look at our previous videos concerning Keynote, Pages, and Numbers, and that'll get you started in all of those programs. What we're focusing on here is the different export functions. Now you hit export and select, let's say we want to do it to mail. You select mail, and then at this point you would just address it and send it. Now you notice in the left hand corner you have those red, yellow, and green dots. If you tap on that, what this will do, the X will close it, the minus sign will minimize it, the green will make it full screen. That's how you would export in Keynote. If we go to Pages and we open a file in Pages, we have all of the functionality of the program itself. Tap on your share. Again, you get the same menu as before, except it's, different coloration. Export, and you can export it as a PDF, as a Word document, EPUB, whatever. So if you want to do a PDF, if you want to, let's say you want to send it in a message, you can tap your message, it puts it right in there. So whichever way you want to send it, you would just select it, whether it's an email, a text, or whatever. That's pretty straightforward. So PDF, Word, EPUB, plain text, RTF, which is rich text formats, images, or you can save your output as a Pages template, which again, if you want to see more about that, then you go to our previous videos. If we go back to Keynote and export and as a movie, okay, you can send all, go to the next slide after 5 seconds. You can adjust. If you don't want 5 seconds, let's say you want 3 seconds between that. The resolution you can adjust, 720, 1080p, 4K, and then you just hit export and it creates that movie. If you want to save it to files, click here and say, okay, where do you want it? So we're just going to put it in downloads and then hit save. Now, if we go to downloads, files, and you'll see the movie is right there. And then you just, tap on it and it will play that movie. Some of the different types of files that you can send when you're doing export. So you do PDF, PowerPoint, movie, animated GIF, images, and you would just follow those steps right there and then select the location of where you want to save it to. The last program that we want to talk about is Numbers. So if you go to Numbers, you'll see that it's green. Open this song library. Now, notice here I have multiple pages, multiple sheets. Now, again, if you want to learn more about how to do multiple sheets, different types of formatting, things of that nature, then refer to our previous videos on how to use Numbers in depth. We're just concentrating on exporting. So now you're going to hit share. And again, export and send. We want to do PDF and use the print settings. They're your default print settings. Hit export. You can email it, you can copy it, you can do editing. You want to save it in an Excel format. Now here it's saying one per sheet. So it's going to give you one file per sheet or one per table. Hit export. Now it's collapsing everything. It's going to give you explanations of what it's doing. You can continue. Now here again, what do you want to do? You want to put it in an email. There it is. And there's your XLSX format. It's the latest format. And then you can send this to anyone that's using Microsoft Excel, and it will open this file for them. A comma separated variable, which is basically you're using a comma to separate the columns, and then you have your other option is your tab separated. Or you can save this as a numbers template. The features that we wanted to review here in each, if you hit the ellipsis next to the magnifying glass there, you can select certain files. You can do an icon or a list by name, kind, date, size, tags, view other options. Those are all available. Select whichever one you like the best for your particular processing. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Thank you.